Across Perth and Kinross, there have been big changes to how drug recovery services are being delivered, allowing people with a drug problem to access various levels of support out with the regular clinical model. One such person is Brian Quinn, a recovering heroin user who, just 7 years ago, was still in the throes of his addiction.
It was a fun thing to start with, and then it just progressed from once a week to every day. And then before I knew it, I realised I had a habit. Yeah. And when I got put into a children's home when I was younger, so I don't care if I was able to read and write before I got put in a children's home or not. I don't care if I forgot how to read or write or that, or it just went for us, So that's me sort of learning how to read and write now, and that's really important, because I know that my wee boy coming home from school and asking us to read a book or do his homework and can't do it. So that's how we go to the education and things like that.
Brian has been attending literacy and numeracy classes at Perth Library over the last year, which has given him the opportunity to learn new skills and build his confidence, which to begin with was almost non-existent.
It really was starting reading. I think that was the big breakthrough to begin with, was actually being able to look at a book and tackle a short book, but not feel, I can't do this because it's a book. So that was sort of where we started. It's really difficult because it's where do you make the start if you don't get someone who can give you support and the support you need at the time you need it.
For me in particular, recovery is about actually working with the community, the individuals going through the recovery and their family and friends. If we set up all the ideas around recovery, we'll just miss the mark. So it's about working with the people in your local area, because recovery will differ from varying areas. So recovery for people in Dundee may be different from people in Perth and Kinross. So it's just looking at what the local community feel that's there, and to find what the local resources within the community are, and obviously what the local assets are. And we're really lucky in Perth and Kinross, there's some really good local assets.
One such asset in the community is Smart Recovery, a leading self-empowering addiction recovery support group. Participants learn tools to help them recover from all types of addiction and addictive behaviours, and workshop facilitators Jonathan and Ricky believe that Smart has proved to be very beneficial for those they have worked with.
It's a really good and important thing for people. You can definitely see that from the regulars who come along, you see that if maybe they've had a week that's not been too good for them, they've had a couple of things that maybe happened, or they made a bad choice here or there, perhaps in a lapse. You get the chance to come along, talk it through with everybody, they kind of get a benefit from the discussion amongst each other, and everybody walks away feeling a bit more positive. They can kind of take something from that, whereas sometimes otherwise they might have made a negative choice and started back using again, and they've set themselves back quite a bit. So it can have a really positive impact with people. I think the main thing people have is they don't have to travel far. They don't feel they've got to travel into the centre of Perth, for example. And it's in the community, it's somewhere they feel safe, somewhere they know, they're with people they know, and I think there's a level of trust there, and it's a familiar surrounding, because it can still be quite an alienating experience, particularly for people coming the first time. So being part of the community, people who they see and recognise, that's a major bonus for people.
This time last year, I don't think any of the guys who are attending that I know of would have been able to come out of their houses, let alone sit in a group of others and discuss their recovery, their problems, their addictions. It's really quite something to see. We had a discussion at today's meeting about choice and whether Smart Recovery or other group meetings, group programmes should be mandatory. The upshot was that the consensus of opinion at today's meeting was that people who may be hooked into addictive lifestyles should have as many choices as possible. Gives them more of a locus of control if they're involved more in choosing what their own recovery is about. Recovery obviously means different things to different people. It's individual. So if an individual has as much choice as possible in whatever way to be involved in their own recovery and their own care, then I think that's fundamental to a person's recovery.